recent times, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has once again captured international attention, leading to protests and demonstrations around the world. Toronto and New York have not been exempt from these events, with passionate supporters from both sides expressing their views on the streets of these major cities. The clash between pro-Palestine and pro-Israeli protesters highlights the urgency of addressing this long-standing issue and the importance of peaceful dialogue and diplomacy. The background. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a complex and deeply rooted issue, marked by historical, political, and religious tensions. It has resulted in cycles of violence, leaving countless casualties on both sides. Recent events in the region, including evictions in East Jerusalem and military conflicts in Gaza, have reignited the debate and spurred global protests. Pro-Palestine demonstrations. Pro-Palestine protesters argue for the rights and self-determination of the Palestinian people. They advocate for an end to the occupation of the West Bank and a resolution that recognizes a Palestinian state. Pro-Palestine rallies often include demands for humanitarian aid to Gaza and condemnation of Israeli government actions. Pro-Israeli demonstrations. Pro-Israeli demonstrators, on the other hand, support Israel's right to exist as a sovereign state and argue for its security in a volatile region. They stress the importance of Israel's right to defend itself against threats and terrorism. Pro-Israeli rallies also aim to counteract what they perceive as biased or one-sided media coverage. Clashes on the streets. While both sides are passionate about their views, clashes between pro-Palestine and pro-Israeli protesters are a concern. These protests, which have occurred in various cities worldwide, sometimes escalate into physical confrontations and violence. Such incidents can lead to injuries and arrests, creating a challenging situation for law enforcement. The importance of peaceful demonstrations. It is crucial to remember that peaceful protests and demonstrations are a fundamental aspect of democratic societies. People have the right to express their opinions and engage in peaceful dialogue about complex issues. The challenge lies in ensuring that protests remain nonviolent and respectful of others' rights and opinions. Calls for diplomacy. Given the deep-seated nature of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it is essential to advocate for diplomacy and peaceful negotiation as the means to resolve the issue. The international community, including world leaders, must come together to encourage both parties to engage in dialogue and work towards a peaceful coexistence. The protests in Toronto and New York involving pro-Palestine and pro-Israeli demonstrators highlight the passionate sentiments surrounding the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. While the right to peaceful protest is essential in democratic societies, it is equally important to ensure that these protests do not escalate into violence.